Okay, February 28th, 2016. Currently 52 degrees. Bees are pretty active. Finally, we've had a couple of good Clemson flight weather, but not warm enough to actually get into a hive. We're gonna put some sugar on these guys. I think they've consumed quite a bit of honey with the mild winter we've had. Stay tuned and we'll get you set up. This hive, I believe, actually has a screen bottom board. Now this was my, what I called my retarded hive. I don't know, it was the last one I got out of a nuke into a hive. I didn't even have any equipment to put them in. My brother said he'd loan me a hive for the season. We'll split the bees in the summer if they make it. Make sure I got you in frame here. Yeah, I believe you're good. And they just drew the ugliest comb. They didn't know how to put pollen and honey and brood in. They just have it all mixed up. I didn't ever have any expectations. I requeened them. New queen wasn't any better than the old one. But I got slammed hard with yellow jackets in the spring or in the fall. They wiped out every hive I had except this one. And so far they're still alive. I'm going to pull a couple of frames here. I'd like to see some brood. And we still do have a little bit of honey. That's always a good sign. It's pretty dry. I don't know if the bees are all up in this medium. I got 2 deeps in a medium. This medium only had 3 or 4 frames with honey in, so I left it on them. Because I'm probably not even going to have to feed these girls. I thought with the mild winter we've had, that I'd have to put some sugar on them for sure. There's 3 frames of, half frames of honey. I might need to break down a layer because I don't think they're going to be up in the brood up into this medium hive yet. 4 frames of honey. I'm not gonna give these girls any sugar, but I'll explain how. For any of you that haven't seen any of my other videos, this is some of that Duragilt foundation. I picked up some supers this last summer. I'm going to be thinning all that stuff out. I just don't like it. It's bad enough when they don't draw on it, but it really sucks when the Duragilt's crooked. And that looks like wired wax foundation. Where's that ain't drawn out more? Yeah. Guess I gotta pop a couple of staples to get this medium off the deep box. I really don't want to do this, but I'll come back down here and staple. I want to see some brood in this hive. Looking pretty good in there. Lots of burr comb. don't recommend breaking a hive down on the 28th of February, but 52 degrees and a nice sunny day. We'll do it quick. Right there you can see they had a big overhang of comb, which is stuck to the next frame. They even got honey in the medium. Yeah, this queen's going to be going in the spring. They got way more honey than they know what to do with. I'm going to have to completely wreck that frame in the spring just to get that messed up comb off of it. So far, not seeing any brood. Not a good sign. Oh. There we go. You can see it ain't a lot of brood. We do have some brood. Some open brood. Queenie's probably right here somewhere. Not seeing any eggs. A little bit of brood on that side underneath them there, you can see. There's two small patches of brood. I'm going to look one more frame quick. Call it good enough. Surprisingly, that big thick frame of honey is on the southern end of the hive. No brood in that frame. There's some honey. So they got plenty of honey. Now if I can get all this back together, all this bird comb. Not the number of bees I'd like to see, but live bees nonetheless. They are pretty gentle. I haven't been bothered a bit here. Hopefully I ain't speaking too soon. Yeah, spoke too soon. First tag of the 2016 season. Pardon my butt there. I just hope we didn't get any mice in the hive. I never did get mouse guards on this past fall. We'll be finding out. I ain't going that deep in the hive. Pop you out the thing here. Have you look down the side and see all that bird comb? Another couple of weeks. Maybe the maples will be in bloom. Start seeing some fresh pollen coming in. Maybe I'll try to get a chance to get up in the woods to see if I can find any skunk cabbage. That ought to be coming in bloom about now too. Never can seem to find that here. Alright. Thanks for watching. Give my videos a thumbs up. Click the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber. Thanks for watching again. Yeah, before I close the hive up, I was going to show you ways of feeding honey. I got a bag of sugar here. Now, what I would normally do is I'd take my hive tool and I would scrape some of that burr comb off. I'd take a piece of newspaper, usually works the best, it's thin, they can shoot through that to the bottom if you want it. And I'd put that right in the corner like that, maybe on the front side a little warmer. Sunny side, south side's to my back here. Pour some sugar right on there. And if you got some lemon juice, some people say to spritz it with lemon juice, it adjusts the pH so they can digest it better. Another thing you could do is you could pull a frame that's empty, that they've consumed all the honey. Just sprinkle some sugar in that and put that right in by your cluster. That way they don't have to come up over the top of it. And you can't tell with this inner cover, but when I build my own, I build an extra thick lip on one side, like maybe an inch and a quarter. And then I'll flip that upside down over the sugar so there's more space. I'm going to work around that sugar. Some people will just pour a ring right around their hole in their top cover, and then they can come up through and work that. I've never really seen a lot of success with that. You don't seem to get up in the top and discover it's there. Another thing you can do, I was going to do it this year but I never got to it, it looks like I don't, is you can take your sugar and just wet it a little bit, and you don't want it soup, but enough that it'll stick together. Put it in a pie tin, put it somewhere where it's warm, that it'll dry and harden, and then you can just pop that out and set that right on top of your frames. You don't need to use the newspaper. Or you can make candy out of it. Some people that do that, they'll take a thing like an inner cover and they'll pour it full of there's a certain temperature you heat the sugar to, sugar and water, and it'll make a syrup, and then it'll harden rock hard. Some outfits sell them. Long Lane Honey Farm calls it their Winter Be Kind boards. You can do the same thing with a frame. Make it just an empty frame. I don't know whether they lay it on wax paper, what, and pour it full of the syrup solution that'll basically raw candy, or it'll harden like raw candy, and put that right inside the thing. Here's some suggestions for feeding your bees. Like I said, it was just 28th of February. Now most places would be like Springs here if you're down south, Virginia and such. Here in New York, I'm right in smack dab central New York. We're a long way from spring. I've seen some of our worst snowstorms in March. 2 weeks ago we had 30 below weather. So most of the hives in my area are lost early March. People look at them in February, think my bees are still alive, they're doing good, and end of March they're gone. These guys, I believe, got plenty of honey. I'll check them mid-March if we get some warm weather, but for now they're good to go. Okay, thanks for watching again.